What is going on, everyone? This is talkingnerdy.org. I'm your host, Nerdy, and today we're going to make a thumbnail for a unboxing that I am going to be performing, or have performed, and will be uploading to YouTube in the very near future. So it's going to be a quick, down and dirty little tutorial, and we're going to go and get it done right now. So you will see what I'm actually going to be unboxing in the future here very shortly, because it's going to become very evident. So first thing we do, and I'm actually going to go ahead and do that right now instead of just trying to walk you through it. We're going to do we're going to say a new, and we're going to pick the 1092 times 1080p at 72 ppi, and we're going to create that. So that's what's on the screen right now. The next thing I do normally when I create a YouTube background is I actually grab a colorful background or a picture of the game that I'm using or something along that lines. So I chose this as my background. You will understand very shortly why I did that, but you know, it's the graphic that I decided to pick. I am going to actually, instead of it being centered, well, it's going to be centered, but instead of it being like in the middle with some space around it, I'm just going to actually make this just a tad bigger. And we're going to hit enter on that, and we'll get this centered back up a little bit because I was moving. But so there it is. So that right there is the background. Nothing else needs to happen to that. I don't think, and I'm going to try this, I don't think this is going to work, but yeah, I didn't think it would. I was kind of hoping that this would make this look 3D, but I think there's a lot that I would have to do with that. You know, maybe if we did it, let's see something. I'm just kind of curious. Is that locked? It's not locked. Okay, let's raster it. Let's see what happens now. All right, anyways, we're not gonna play with that. Anyways, so it's done. This is your background. This is my background. This is what it's gonna look like on the background. So the next thing is I normally do is I actually bring in the my logo, my little South Park head. So we are going to do that. So I just drag and drop, and we're going to bring him over. Whoops, we just moved the center. We didn't move him. We'll move that over to the center here. And I think it's Shift C. It's not Control C. I don't think it's Control C. No, that's going to mess it up. So we're going to hit Shift, and we're just going to resize this to the size that I normally use, or close to it. I really don't have a size for that. I think it's like 11 inches or some weird thing there, but so I think that's big enough, and we're going to rotate it, and we're going to move it over. We may resize it here in a little bit, and we just hit enter, and that gets us out of the transform tool. If you wanted to go back and transform, it's Control T. Brings back that little mask thing that you can actually do. So Control Z. No technical terms here. You know me, I don't do technical terms. Anyways, so we hit enter. So that's really flat, and as a lot of you guys know, I normally put a drop shadow on this guy. So we're going to double click that layer, and we're going to hit drop shadow. And the other thing is, and even though I like the look of this, because you can actually see that it's, you know, above the background, I put the beveled embossed edge on it, and it just kind of gives it that rounded edge look. It actually does a little bit more, like highlights this area, so it just looks a little bit more 3D. Okay, so we're done with that. Done deal. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the actual normally I just put text on the background, because normally my backgrounds are the game, so you know exactly what I'm about to talk about. It's the game. It's a game, and it's you know, put the name of the game, and then blah blah blah. Nerdy's first look. Well, this time it's a little different, and we're going to actually put in a picture of the product that I purchased, and we're going to go. And yes, indeed, it is a paintball gun. I think the angle is pretty close, but I think I just want to tip it down just a little bit. And we're going to hit enter. I think that's a really good size. I took this image and it was on a white background. I magic erased what I was trying to do on the background on it. So that was all completed. It made it transparent, but it's missing something. It feels like it just kind of feels like it's there. We're going to do the same thing that we did with my logo, and we're going to double click it and bring up whoops, there we go. We're going to actually do a drop shadow, and as you can see, it actually made this little white anti-aliasing stuff around the gun. So it made it pop, but it didn't clear it. So I actually put the bevel on it, and it darkens that. It's not all gone, but it tricks your eye just enough that you think that it's a little bit further off the paper than you can see it, and I think that looks pretty darn good. So we're going to hit OK, and we're done with that. The next step that I'm going to do is actually put the text in. And when you do the text, you've got to think of what it is pertaining. If you looked at my Tower of Time video, you notice that I'd use some kind of like gothic looking font. Today this is supposed to be goofy, fun. Paintball is all about being goofy and fun, and maybe probably a lot of welts and bruises. But we're gonna put it in here, and we're just gonna say we're gonna use Comic Sans, and we're gonna make it in bold, and we're just gonna put oops, cap locks are on. Paintball gun unboxing! Exclamation point. Okay, so I think I have not named it because the video is going to be named just that, and it's probably self-explanatory which gun actually it is, but you know, if I wanted to write it out, it's like the name of this gun is Tipman Cronus Tactical Paintball Gun, and I don't think I want to write that all out with the unboxing. So, but we're gonna. So I just decided to do Paintball Gun Unboxing, and I think that font works really well with this. So we're gonna get Control T again, and maybe not. There we go. Now we're gonna hit Control T, and we're gonna minimize this back there, and we're gonna move this over. A little big still. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our shift, and we're going to bring it down to a respectable size. Bring it into center here, so it's centered on the gun. Just kind of makes everything feel like it's all together. I can see right now, we're going to hit enter there. We're going to actually hit our move tool, and we're going to move this bad boy over just a tad so that it's about the same distance here that it is over here off. Just makes it look more level. Getting back to the text, I highlighted the text, and the reason why I did that was that we can change the color. I personally think that this color is going to work, but we could change it to red, and we can change it to purple. Purple's my color, you know, dark purple maybe. It looks fun, but you really do lose. I mean, it's flat too. You know, we're gonna fix that in a couple seconds. Maybe that's a good color. Maybe if it's a little lighter, I don't know. Muting it is a little. That might work. That might actually work. So we're gonna leave it right there for now. All right. So now we're just gonna select that layer. And we're gonna double click it, and actually I don't think I can because it's so long. We're just gonna right click, and we're gonna select blending options, which is the same thing as layer style or double clicking on any of the gray areas on any of the other levels. and you guessed it, drop shadow and bevel and emboss. Now we can look at this. Is it legible? That is the big thing. If this is legible with this, it's kind of legible. The problem I see here is this. Maybe if it was lighter, or maybe if the drop shadow was a little darker. So we can always go to drop shadow and actually put this at, let's just say 75%. And that helps it out a lot, actually. As you can see, it just kind of pulls it from there. So, you know, I think I might actually do that with everything. Let's just put this, that's not what we want. We want, and actually what I was doing was the opacity at 75. So it just makes it darker. And we're going to do my logo. Just try to make it all consistent. Drop shadow Rick and 75%. And hit OK. So now that's it. I really kind of still have a little bit of a problem with that color. I mean, I think I can read it, but I don't know if other people can read it, and that's going to bother me. So would you do that, or would you put an outer glow? So you can always turn this off. See the difference there? But we can also go into effects, and instead of using the drop shadow, we could do an outer glow. And that really doesn't help it either. Just looking at all of these different, that actually helped it a little bit on the outer edge, so that it actually does look. But you can put contours on it. I'm not going to do that. And textures, well, that just muddies the water even more. So do we change the color to something that's less reddish purple? And I think we need to do that. So we're gonna double click this. Let's try that dark blue again. Maybe more of a bluish purple. See, that actually doesn't allow it to blend with the rest of, and I kind of like that where it was before. And yes, we're just going to try and, actually the darker it gets, the better it's read, the more readable it is. That I can read, and I think that's a good thing. So now, one of the things I do, and it's just an OCD thing, is I actually tweak things. So I'm going to grab the text, and I'm also going to hit Control, and I'm going to grab the Tipman picture, and we're going to just move it so that it ever so slightly, so that the top of the gun and the bottom of the text is actually just about the same. It's actually not. So we want to bring it down. I just want to make sure that it feels centered. That might be, actually, there it is. That's what we want, the line all the way across. So the next thing is, we've got that much space, this much space. We can actually move my logo over just a little bit. And it changed my text back. Damn it, Rick. Damn it to hell. Alright, so let's go back to let's change this back to that color. I don't know why I did that. Maybe I didn't hit OK. So that's close. That's close as it was before. It might not be perfect, but we're going to hit OK. So there it is. This is what I have. So now the next thing is, I'm still having a problem with the paintball and the splatter in the back and the text. One of the things you can do, you actually can create another layer, and you can bring it, probably not what I wanted to do. Let's undo that. If you ever want to do anything, here's the history. Just go see where it says add a mask. That was the problem. I didn't want to add a mask. I wanted to add a layer. Maybe it's this. This is it. Solid color. And oh my God, where's all my stuff? Well, it's okay. We'll fix it. So we're gonna make that white. And we're gonna bring this down below everything except, no, I didn't want it in it. How dare they do this? It did another layer mask. Why are you doing this to me? Just a layer. I don't want a layer mask. I think it's the way I dropped it. Is that just a color fill white? That's all we want. There we go. Now we can just drop it down. Maybe. Right there. So now, where's my background? What I did this for is this one reason. Is I'm going to change the opacity of that to where the paint actually falls behind it. I mean, comes through it. But at a point where it's a little less, it's like it's taken on the white. As you can see, the further I move it, the less it becomes, and after a while it just comes undesirable. So this is what it is, and I'm thinking about like this. Now you can read it. It's absolutely a lot better on the eyes. So there is our finished product for my next video that I'll be uploading in the very near future, probably tomorrow. After this one, which is the unboxing of my Tippmann Cronus tactical gun, paintball gun, and I really had a good time doing it. I hope you enjoy it. Both of them are kind of short, so they're not too long, not a lot of time to invest in them, and we have a good time. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Please, if you like this, please subscribe. Please leave a comment on if you think I should do something differently, or if there's a different way to do it. I always am up for learning. I'm self-taught, so and and ring my bell if you want to see more of what I'm doing. Thanks again. Slay safe and stay nerdy, my friends.